That's the big thing with Villa Madero is it's just a slum. I mean, there are parts that are a little more well established, but we actually did a lot of our teaching in the slum because that's where people were most interested and were actually most willing to talk. It's a area that was really poor, and so they really wanted to improve their lives in every way. And it was really interesting because if there are like zoning procedures in this part of Argentina, they weren't enforced and nobody listened to them. So it was very common for people to build their houses by hand, and they would just like buy bricks and slap them together and build whatever they could. And it was very interesting just because it was very haphazard. You know, you would see buildings going, you know, almost leaning as they would go up. And just that was one of the main things. It's on Saturdays and Sundays, their main three activities would be working on their house, playing soccer, and, you know, actually, I think that was just two, yeah. Playing soccer and building on their houses. And so surprisingly, though, it's viewed as a very dangerous area, and I was really scared when I first went there because there are a lot of scary looking people, and, you know, it's a scary place, but it was actually not that bad. Most people recognized us and kind of recognized that missionaries didn't carry anything of value, so we wouldn't be worth robbing. And so, you know, we never actually had any problems in the slums. You know, we occasionally had problems outside of the slums, but generally in the slums, it was nothing bad. Occasionally people just asking dumb questions and asking us to give them $1 because we're American. They do a lot of just construction work, like they're almost all in construction. And actually in the part I was in, it was mostly Bolivians rather than Argentines. A lot of Bolivians would come into the country and would live in these slums, and because I guess it was better than Argentina, or better than Bolivia, the economic situation. So there'd be a lot of Bolivians there. And then as far as transportation, it's always by bus, almost always. You know, everybody takes the bus, and the bus systems are actually a lot more widespread than here in Utah, which was surprising for me. There's something called a remise, which is basically, it's kind of like Uber now, where you pay a driver to just drive you wherever, and it's just these people who own these cars and work for a company to take you wherever. So there are like official taxis, but almost everyone uses a remise because it's a lot cheaper. But even then, they wouldn't use those unless they absolutely had to, because you can really get just about anywhere by bus.